Hi, this is Derek Regensberger, and welcome to another episode of the Clarinet Connection, your source for gear and product reviews and practice and performance tips for the clarinet. Today's episode is part 6 of 24 tips for better clarinet playing. Double tonguing is completely different than regular tonguing, and the reason for that is your tongue never hits the reed. When you double or triple tongue, you're going to shut off the airflow to the instrument using your anatomy rather than hitting the reed. In other words, what you're going to do is you're going to interrupt the airflow by hitting the roof of your mouth with your tongue, and it never comes in contact with the reed. This helps speed up the process. Brass players are well versed in double and triple tonguing. Woodwind players, not so much. But over the past 30 years or so, double tonguing has become much more common. So when you double tongue, you're going to make a sound something like this. So it's a sound that you're going to make. And all I'm doing is clicking again about the middle of my tongue with the roof of my mouth. So it sounds again something like this. I never hit the reed once during that piece, okay? So an interesting use of double tonguing is it can help you speed up particularly repetitive passages. So a good example of a repetitive note passage is found in the Superman March. So let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, if I were to play this just normal staccato, doesn't sound bad, but the faster we go, the more difficult it gets to play that. If I double tongue it, it becomes much easier. So you can hear that it becomes much easier to play particularly repetitive passages like that when you double tongue. An interesting hybrid tonguing method was developed by Fobes. And what he does is he double tongues the beginning of a run, and then he uses staccato tonguing for the rest of the run. If you have a very fast run up or down a scale, if you just use staccato tonguing, it becomes quite difficult to get that timed correctly. So hybrid tonguing, again, you would start the run with a double tongue and then use staccato single tonguing for the rest of it. It might sound something like this. If we use all single tonguing, it becomes a little more difficult to catch up with the pace. You can hear it becomes a little more challenging. So again, we want to start it with double tonguing and then play the rest single tongue. The reason why we want to use single tonguing for the majority of the run is it puts our tongue in the correct position for the best quality sound out of the instrument. Our intonation is going to be better if we use single tonguing rather than double tonguing. When we use double tonguing, instead of our nice curved tongue arch, we're going to have a much more kind of pointed up at the roof of our mouth, and that's going to make it sound a little less nice across the whole range, something like this. And you can hear over that whole run, it starts to sound a little bit, and we really don't want that. We want a nice, full, beautiful clarinet intonation across that run. And so if we start with double tonguing, but then revert back to single tonguing, we're going to get that proper tongue arch in place, and it's going to sound much better over the course of the whole run. When we simply have repeated notes, as we played in the Superman or that Tchaikovsky Fourth Symphony that I played at the beginning, much easier just to simply use double tonguing. We can tongue much faster, and since we're playing really fast repetitive notes on the same note, we're not as interested in keeping that intonation throughout the repetitive passage. Thanks for watching the Clarinet Connection, and tune in next time. Thanks again, and if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel below.